both voted most likely to succeed. He's become a financial genius, while she'd just hit the black with her bakery. It was like he'd pulled ahead again, and she needed to even the playing field. Silly, but there it was. She took pride in the fact that people loved her bakery. Voted #1 every year in the Source Weekly's own Ben's Best Of list. She'd been on top the past few years, while Anson had been doing God knew what around the country. And then her nemesis, who'd left town after high school, had come back to stay. In just 4 months, he'd wreaked havoc. Not content to be a successful restaurateur away from Bend, he just had to set up shop right next door to Riley's Sweets. The business was her pride and joy, and according to her friends, a substitute boyfriend that consumed all her time. Anson had made a fortune in the big cities. Why the hell had he come back to her town to set up shop? To destroy her? She fumed. Dexter joined Maya, saw Riley, and took a step back, putting his girlfriend between them.
Well, look, it's not my fault we're related. I had nothing to do with our fathers being brothers, I swear.
Dexter Black was Anson's cousin. The fact Riley approved of him, despite his association with his cousin, proved he had to be a quality guy. I like you, Dex. Riley patted his arm. The giant lug grinned down at her. He had a few inches on Maya, and man, he was huge. No longer the geeky kid he'd been back in high school, for sure. She shot a side glance at Anson. Anson and Dex looked a lot alike, both too handsome for their own good, with dark hair and large builds. She hated to admit it, but Anson was just her type physically. If he'd keep his mouth shut, a practical impossibility, she might try him on for size. I mean, he's totally arm candy material. A dream in her fantasies. An egotistical nightmare in reality. Whereas his cousin had a military shortcut, a holdover from his Marine Corps days. Anson had thick black hair that reached his nape. He had that bad boy vibe going for him, but she'd be surprised if the anal retentive guy had ever even jaywalked. He turned suddenly and caught her studying him. He raised a brow in that supercilious way he had that shot her temper to the moon. Then he grinned, and she wanted nothing more than to kiss— no, knock that smile off his face. And that right there, that was her major problem with Anson. As arrogant, obnoxious, and annoying as he could be, her body had never gotten the memo that he should be too irritating to be considered boyfriend material. Instead, she continued to have naughty dreams of them doing all manner of things together. And Riley, unfortunately, had never done sex without the emotional commitment. No one-night stands for her. Ignoring the heat in her cheeks, she smiled back at him and saw his eyes narrow. Then she took her middle finger and scratched at her brow. He blinked before laughing long and loud. Great. He'd gotten the message and found it amusing. You know, Dex said, as he drew Maya in front of him and rested his chin on her shoulder. I get the impression maybe Anson likes you. Oh, God. Not this again. Riley finished the wine in her glass and looked around for another. Maya rolled her eyes but took the glass and left to refill it. Dex nodded. Yeah, see, Anson is a great guy. She snorted. He's just misunderstood. Riley gave Dex credit for his loyalty, but while Dex had been raised to be humble about his brilliance, Anson embraced his many kudos to the point where his head shouldn't have been able to fit through Anne and Jack's doorway. So, you're telling me Mr. I'm King of the World isn't full of himself? That his recent nomination as Bachelor of the Century for that Valentine's Day charity ball, the one he announced to everyone as soon as he stepped inside this room tonight, is all an act? And what about the way he has of acting like he's Lord of the Manor wherever he goes? I mean, really? Dex blew out a breath. Okay, so he brags more than he should. I admit, it can be a little annoying. A little? But he only does that super bossy thing to annoy you. I find